I'm Aubrey Basla, and this is my interview with Robert Varney, a 2020 graduate of Ursinus College and studio art major, one of the artists featured in the Berman Annual Student Exhibition, and recipient of the Donald E. Camp Award. Hey Rob, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. The lighting is so striking in this series, Shirley, that we have up. They have a filmmaking quality to them. And I wanted to ask you if you set anything up, if this was all natural, if that's just kind of the way the medium, what you were going for.
I would say I literally turned 3 lamps on, I think,
Wow.
in total.
Uh-huh.
But everything else that I captured was just natural light coming in the windows. Light was probably the largest challenge that I faced in actually taking the pictures physically, just because you're inside. I had a lot of run-ins where I had natural light, like interacting with unnatural light, which I kind of like to stay like one side or the other on that. So that was something that like I had to kind of let happen or just kind of modify to fit my ideas. I would try and like time my shots. So like if I knew, oh, I wanted to get a shot of this bathroom that's on like the west facing side of the house, I'll do it in the afternoon.
Somehow this very heart-wrenching content is personal to you and also very relatable to everybody else. And reading your artist statement, you talked about that by leaving Shirley, the subject, out. So I kind of wanted to ask you about your decision to do that.
I felt that a viewer could relate to an environment and a story better than to like a specific person. I don't think it's like impossible, but I felt like I wanted to explore like the environment's effect in telling stories and showing age and stuff like along those lines.
Was your goal to always shoot in this house when you came up with the idea?
I saw this project as building off of a project I did last year for my junior ASE project. And in that project, I documented both my grandfather and my grandmother. My grandfather was alive at the time, and they had been living apart due to Alzheimer's and like the care that he needed. Building off of that story, I kind of wanted to dig in more to it and not just get like the scenes of it, like not just capturing the scenes of what it is, but like also capturing the emotion that is behind these stories that are like happening a lot more than people realize. Like Alzheimer's is something that like personally it frightens me, and that's why I wanted to investigate it as a way to not only like honor the memory of my grandfather and honor my grandmother as a wonderful human being, but also know it better in a way.
What was your process when it came to interviewing your grandma and making these images and deciding which ones to choose for your series?
I did the interview first because I felt like that would be the strongest way to understand a story before going in to make images. That was an intense interview to do with my grandmother, but it was very good. Just in general for processing everything, but also to understand her perspective in this.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have a favorite compliment or critique on your work that's really stood out that you keep coming back to while making art? I know I have a few in the bank that I can remember from professors or classmates or friends that have said things that have kind of stuck with me.
One that really like affected my progress as in becoming an artist was taking digital with Sarah Kaufman this spring of my freshman year. Mm-hmm. And at that point, I hadn't really thought about making art my only major or making it a career in the way that I do now. Her final project for that class was making a photo book, and at the end of it, she bought an extra one of my photo books from this little final project, and that was just like such a sweet compliment as like, oh, I can show this to future students, and like emotionally that really motivated me to kind of push myself as a photographer and artist.
Yeah, we're now in quarantine and we have time more than ever to make art or kind of adjust our process, and you're free to kind of explore anything. What's next for you in your artwork?
The project I was working on before, as we transitioned into quarantine, basically was taking images that showed the societal changes we were going through at the time. And that's a project I really want to continue working on, and that I hope to expand on and maybe see where that goes.
I'm happy that we could do this interview together, Rob. I love your work, and it's been a pleasure talking to you about it.
Me too. Thank you, Aubrey.